What's up, gang? Mr. Muffin72 here, and today I got a bit more of a chill, kind of casual video. I'm just going to be talking, not really scripted, about my favorite Minecraft server at the moment, being, of course, MCC Island. Now, MCC Island, it's got its ups and downs. You know, it started out in like closed beta. They dropped 4 new games. I mean, they're MCC games, but you know, they were new to us because we'd never played it before. And we're like, oh, this is so great. They're so cool. This entire server is amazing. And it was a blast. And then closed beta lasted for quite a while. And then it just kind of like kept going. They added like a few maps here and there. And then it's like, okay, you know, these games are cool, but could we have something else? And then they dropped a new update. They're like, wow, this is cool. This is really great. And then there was nothing for a while again. And then they dropped a 6th game, which was a bit controversial, but we'll get to that later. And then now the entire community is like, bruh, this server got no content. We've been playing the same games over and over. But recently they announced that in Season 4 they're going to be dropping a new game that's been heavily requested. But we'll get to that later as well. So now it looks like MCC Island's going back up, but it's kind of been all over the place, and I just want to talk about the current state of the server, how I think each part of MCC Island could be improved, or if it's already great. So let's just get into my least favorite game on the list, being Dynaball. Now, Dynaball was the most recent addition to MCC Island, and calling this game my least favorite, I kind of feel bad because I don't think this game is poorly designed. I actually think it's pretty well designed, but it's just really not my style. It's very slow. It's very kind of wonky. Knocks through. The idea of this game is supposed to be like a very casual PvP game, aside from like Battle Box and Sky Battle, which are, I'll admit, they're pretty sweaty. Sky Battle especially. And Dynaball is just like, you know, just some fun. You can slay explosions at the other team, you know? But for me, it's just like, it just seems like 99% of the game is just like standing around, and then you finally get an item, you shoot it, and you're like, okay, now time to stand around again. And then when you actually like kill someone, it doesn't feel satisfying. Like, I feel like 90% of the kills are just like luck based or someone like walking off the map. But maybe that's just my perspective because I like the sweaty games like Battle Box and Sky Battle. I like those like hardcore PvP, quick action-packed kind of games. So maybe Dynaball, it's just not for me. I don't really know how it could be changed besides like speeding it up, but I don't know if that's really the intention of the game. You know, it's supposed to be that like casual fun that anyone can pick up and play. So I'm not going to say Dynaball is bad or it should be like removed or changed or anything like that. I'm just gonna say it's not for me, but I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. Psych! A 5 out of 10. I don't know. I feel like there could be some things to maybe change it. It's not my favorite. I don't know what could really be done with it, but let's just move on to get to the other side. Now, to get to the other side is actually It used to be, I think, one of my favorite games to watch in MCC. I think mostly because it just like it used to get skipped a lot, so like whenever it came up, it was really fun to watch. But now it's just kind of, it just feels a bit repetitive now. Even like in MCC event and on MCC Island, and I feel like that might be because there's a lot of the maps on both MCC event and MCC Island that are shared. So it's like you can kind of get the same experience on, like, you're getting basically the same experience as the players are when you're playing on MCC Island than if you were actually in the MCC event. And I mean, like, that's not a bad thing. Like, the games are still fun. But I don't know, it's get to the other side, it's just a bit repetitive. I don't think the multipliers are really that fun. Like, there's the bow one that, like, gives you knockback bow, and then, like, the knockback stick one. And then like even like early birds is like, it's a fun idea, but it's just like, it just makes you play for less time. I don't know, the game in general just gets repetitive a few times. You know, you play the new maps are fun, but once you play the new maps and you like kind of have your route that you like to go. You just do that every time and nothing really changes. And then you get punched off and you just like get pissed off, and I don't know. It's probably one of the less fun games on MCC right now, which is a shame because I really enjoyed it when closed beta first came out. But it's just, I don't know, it's just not that fun anymore. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. We're gonna keep moving on in order from games I like the least up to games I like the most, and we're going on to Hole in the Wall. Now, Hole in the Wall, I don't hate. Okay, I don't hate Hole in the Wall. It's just a few things that I think could make it better. One, of course, is kind of hard for the Nox to control, but the queue times are pretty bad because not a lot of people play Hole in the Wall. So it feels like it takes a while to get into the game. And then once you actually get into the game, it's like if you fall off, you die. So you have to re-queue, and like you honestly spend more time just like waiting than actually playing. But of course, this is not really in the Nox crew's control. It's literally the amount of people you need to fill up a lobby. And they actually changed it, I think, semi-recently to have it start with less people. So that was a good change. But it, you know, the problem is still there. Not a lot of people are playing Hole in the Wall at all times. But that's not a huge problem. I mean, the thing for Hole in the Wall and me is it just starts a little slow. Like, I feel like I never die to the first minute of walls unless I'm like actually just like not paying attention or like screwing around. And it's just like, why can't we just like skip past that first part and get to like where the action actually starts getting good? But I also get that not everyone is at my skill level. I'm not even saying that I'm like an expert Hole in the Wall player. I'm just like decent. But for the people who aren't as good at Minecraft, or maybe just like playing it for the first time, I get it. I get that there should be that like beginning area. It's the same issue with Dynaball, where it's just not really for me because of like how it's set up with like the skill base. So not really Hole in the Wall's fault. The traps, they're fine. I mean, I like the fishing rod ones and the punching ones that you can like sabotage players. Other ones are just kind of like meh, but overall they're good. But I think I'm also just gonna give Hole in the Wall 6.5 out of 10. Yeah, I don't know.
Bruh.
Okay, next one. Controversial take. I know, because this is a lot of people's favorite game on MCC Island, and I honestly might say that it is also one of my favorite games, but I have to admit there is a bit of flaw. It's Sky Battle. Now, Sky Battle, it has its highs. You know, when you're dominating in Sky Battle, it is the most fun game of all time, and even if when you're losing, it's still pretty fun. But there are just those little things that make it a little annoying to play at times. The one that I just... it's hard because I like the idea of the levitation sparks and the healing sparks. They're great ideas, and, you know, it makes everything unique. But, oh my gosh, sometimes they are so annoying to fight against. Like, if you're chasing someone and then they just, like, levitation away and you don't have one, it's like, oh, no, that's cool. Or you knock someone into the void and then they just levy out and you're like, oh, nah, it's cool. I didn't want that kill anyways. It just gets like annoying sometimes. Or if you're like completely destroying someone and then they just pop like a regen and they just like go back to full health, it's like, oh no, that's cool. It's like, I didn't want to fight you anyway. Also, the other thing I will say about Sky Battle is I feel like some of the maps are just kind of mid. I really like the whole like void aspect of Sky Battle, and then actually like, you know, Sky Battle takes place in the sky. It should be like emphasized to get kills by knocking people into the void, but it almost never happens between the maps being mostly closed in and the abundance of levitations. But you almost never see people fall off and die, and maybe that's like to have it feel like more casual and more fun, like less punishing to newer players. But like honestly, the levies also kind of help the good players because it just makes them like harder to kill. I don't know, it's one of those things. I like the idea of the levies, but I honestly want to just try like a game mode where they weren't in the game just to see how it would play. because I think it might be more fun, and maybe it wouldn't be more fun, and it would be terrible, and I'm completely wrong, but I want to at least try and see if it's good. Also, I like the maps that have the void in the middle. They're always fun. Please add more of those. Thank you, Nox Crew. Anyways, I'll give Sky Battle a 7.5 out of 10. Next up on the list, a pretty good game that I don't have a whole lot of criticisms for. It is Parkour Warrior, specifically Parkour Warrior Survivor, the versus one. The only real problems I have with this is, I mean, similar to Hole in the Wall, you can't always get like a lot of queues going, but if there are people playing, it's fine. The only real thing I have to say about this is I wish that it got harder quicker, meaning like the level difficulty. Right now it's basically like the first like 5 stages are all like easy difficulty parkour, and it's basically like whoever can, it's not really about like if you can beat the parkour, it's whoever can beat the easy parkour in the fastest time. And I mean, Parkour Warrior is like, yeah, speed is an element of it, but also just like being able to make the jumps and like take your time in order to successfully make the jumps is also like the main thing. I don't know. There's a whole lot of hard obstacles on Parkour Warrior Dojo, and I like to see more of them in Survivor just because it's fun. Also, another one I had, just like add some more time to the timer on the qualifier round right before the end. Just because like sometimes either only one person qualifies or no one qualifies and the time just runs out, and it's pretty anticlimactic. And I don't know, I feel like the final 1v1 is definitely the most fun part of this game. It's super intense, especially if you never won before. And I feel like, I don't know, just have that every game. Like, I don't know why they has to like kick people out after a certain time limit. But that's all I have to really say about this one. I'm going to give Parkour Warrior Survivor an 8 out of 10. Second best on the list is BattleBox. This is my favorite PvP game for the most part. It goes back and forth between this and Sky Battle, but BattleBox is just a lot more consistent in, you know, it's just good, simple fun that you can pick up at any time. You know, there's not a whole lot of punishment for dying. If you die, you got 2 more rounds to play. No big deal. But I will say, a lot of the criticism that I have for BattleBox, Nox Crew has actually been like working to make it better. Specifically, like, I thought the crossbows were pretty overpowered, but they nerfed them a bit and made it so that like they have wood swords to compensate. And I think that's good. There still are a few maps where the crossbows are pretty good, like the pipes map and the trains map. And if you're fighting a crossbow, it can feel pretty unfair if you have a bow. So I feel like just like making them like have a powerful bow, but like a bad sword, like a wooden sword, would be pretty fair. But I don't know. They've been pretty good at balancing the kits for the most part. I logged on a few days ago and I'm like, oh, these are changed. This is cool. So Nox Crew's been pretty good about that. They also changed it so that 2 players can select a kit, not just locked out on 1. And I'm kind of indifferent on this change. I think it's fun. It probably makes it more fun because you don't like get your kit locked out. But honestly, like, I kind of liked having your kit get locked out because you tried different kits. Otherwise, you would just like stick to the same one every time. And also, like, on the trains map, you could only have 2 crossbows, but now you can have everyone have a crossbow. And it's just like, I don't know. I kind of like the idea, like, you know, everyone kind of chose a different kit, and you killed someone, you're like, oh, this kit is down. We don't have to worry about this kit anymore. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I think overall it's a positive change, but, you know, I kind of like the old system better. Either one's fine. It's not a huge deal. That's pretty much all I have to say about BattleBox. I think the custom items work way better in BattleBox than they do in Sky Battle. And all the maps so far have been pretty good, except for like the tunnel-y ones with the crossbows. That's really the only main concern, is crossbows are really good close quarters. But if they change that a bit, then I think BattleBox is going to be incredible. I mean, I already think it's an incredible game. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. And finally, we land on what I think is, right now, the best game on MCC Island, and that is going to be Parkour Warrior Dojo. I literally have no criticisms on this game. Like, I'll hop on Parkour Warrior Dojo, do a run or two, and it'll just be fun from start to finish. I really like that you can just like play the game solo. You can just hop on whenever you want, do some parkour, and that's it. The parkour always feels really balanced and fair to do. Like, the easy parkour is like most people can do it, but there are also skips that you can do to get faster, and I feel like that's really fun. And then the hard parkour, it's like, you know, it's challenging and it uses some like weird Minecraft mechanics, but it always feels fair and you never feel like you're cheated if you die. And there's all the different branches and paths you can take, all the different difficulty like settings you can use to make it easier or harder on yourself. So it's really accessible for all types of players, and you can just jump in, play for a few minutes, and just have fun. And I think it is honestly the best MCC Island game. It's a solo experience, so I feel weird saying that it's MCC Island's best game at the moment. But I mean, I literally have no criticisms for this game. It's honestly just fun as soon as you start playing to the moment you get off. So I'm just going to give this a 10 out of 10. I say nothing should be improved, nothing should be changed, because I think it's amazing. I mean, I'll add new stuff, of course, but they're already doing that. So what do I think the future of MCC Island looks like? Well, we already know that Rocket Spleef Rush is going to be coming to the game in Season 4. And this is actually like my most anticipated game of all time. This is my favorite game in the MCC event. And I'm actually so excited to finally play this game whenever it releases. I thought that this game could be like a perfect fit for Island. I was like kind of surprised when it wasn't originally announced. But I'm excited to see it now. I hope it's going to be fun. They could literally just port the event version over to MCC Island and it would be perfect. They might do some changes, like I think it might be cool if you could like fly around and collect power-ups, but who knows? We'll see what happens when they release it. But even if there's not too many changes, that's fine, because the core game seems really fun and I'm excited to see. But in terms of other games that would be cool to see, I think Ace Race is a highly requested one that a lot of people will like. And you can also combine that with the Parkour Warrior Dojo feature and have Ace Race time trials if you don't want to do it like Ace Race Versus, because I think Noxtrue has said in the past Ace Race Versus would be kind of boring if people just like memorize the map and then you're just like playing against people who know everything. It's like, okay, cool, like what am I? But time trials is like, you know, it's a self-competitive type thing. And it's also another single-player game. You know, we only have one single-player game right now. And I feel like that would be fun. I'd love to play the Ace Race maps, even if it's not against anyone. You could probably play against friends, just like messing around in the same single-player world. But overall, it's just time trials, trying to get the best time and fighting against yourself. In terms of a new PvP game, a lot of people have said survival games, but I feel like that would just be like really similar to the current state of Sky Battle. No offense, most of the Sky Battle maps just feel like survival games in the sky anyways. So if they really change Sky Battle to be Sky Battle oriented, where it's actually like killing people in the void and stuff like that, then maybe I could see survival games making its way. But I think Meltdown is going to be even more fun than survival games. Meltdown, it is a little questionable how it would actually work on MCC Island, because it is a very teamwork based game. And if you've ever played Sky Battle Phil, you'll know that teammates aren't the most reliable on MCC Island, and you know it's to be expected. You know it's just random people. But I still think Meltdown would be super fun. In concept, I don't know if it would work, but it would be fun. So maybe give it a shot. And finally, very unrealistic, but Sands of Time. Oh my gosh, this would be the most fun game to get with a group of friends and play. I love the dungeon exploring genre of Minecraft. You know, we saw Decked Out come out on the Hermitcraft server, and this is like, oh, this is like the coolest Minecraft experience ever. And I realized, oh wait, Sands of Time from MCC, this would be so much fun to play with friends. But I get it, you know, you couldn't really play with randoms because it would be hard to communicate, you know, blah, blah. There's a lot of issues that come in with Sands of Time, but I know if it is added and it is done well, like Noxtrue has done with every other game, it would be an absolute banger and probably the best game on MCC Island by far. But that's really all I have to say about the future of MCC Island. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree with my points, if you disagree, what you have to say in the comments. And I'll see you guys some other time. And hopefully soon we'll get to play the new game, Rocket Spleef Rush. I'm so excited. I'll definitely be making a video whenever it comes out. And well, I guess I'll see you guys then. Also, if you like this video, if you could consider liking and subscribing, that would be pretty great. Okay, thank you guys, bye.